Hi Gaurav, we're here today to understand from your words what is Aetherion, what are we building here at Calfus.
Yes, Anika. So that's a good question to have. I think what we are trying to build here is something that helps us as well as our customers, and using what is being offered by AI without having to worry about whether it is being done the right way, all the right components, how many components have to be figured out, what has to be stitched together in what order, and all of those nuances that make something work. How do you leverage the power, but not worry about how it is working and what all things that you have to be aware of?
That's interesting. And I know that there are certain main pain points that we're trying to solve, especially for an enterprise audience. What are the things that you're most proud of in Ethereum? And I know this is a slightly dumb question because most people will say, I built it, I'm proud of the whole thing. But if you really had to name two or three things that you feel are genuinely something you're putting your money where your mouth is, what would that be?
I would say the few things that are extremely important for us and what uh, we started putting our whole engineering effort behind when we were building Ethereum. One was durability of execution. Yeah, agents are getting very, very smart. We have seen the progression of language models over the last couple of years. And every iteration, it's a smarter model that is coming out. But all of that smart power that is sitting out there, it is a specific task in point in time. And enterprise applications, enterprise processes, any of our own work, it is not one step thing. There are multiple steps. And as you have more steps, more points of failure. Things will break, things will not work, things will give you slightly different results. Now, how do you keep things running? Be able to do it over longer periods in time and not worry about whether it worked, it will complete my task now or not. We had a lot of memes that were happening with Claude. People are not shutting their laptops so that their Claude sessions are running in background because they are doing something, and it is a very uh, expensive interruption if that happens. So you cannot spend all of the token, all of the money, all of time in completing or nearly completing thing and then have to restart again. So that was one of the things. Then second is this is a piece of technology that has evolved, which is helpful for pretty much everyone. This is not something that is sitting with engineers or technology folks. If you have a problem, there is a very good chance that there is some capability from AI. It could be any number of tools. There is something that will help you out without having to depend on someone else. So that is something that was other core part of building Ethereum, that you are able to build things to solve problem for yourself and be able to run it durably and have it run with the environment that is secure, that is cost conscious, that is governed, and we know what is happening rather than relying with the answer that it's a black box. We need to know what is happening, why certain things were done, why certain actions were taken. These are a few of the tenets that we have for Ethereum.
That is such an important distinction. From what I hear, you're saying is things like long horizon tasks are managed and made easy on Ethereum. Things like the security and governance features that most enterprises are usually concerned about or have a mandate to ensure that their environment is in safe hands. Those are the things that are already taken care of and have been intentionally built out. And I think what I also heard you say is the tasks that probably are complex for outcomes for an enterprise level workload, not a B2C like a personalized workload, would also be something that Ethereum is going to handle and intentionally make sure humans in the loop equation does not go out.
Yeah. So you got a lot of the things right. I just want to add that there is enough flexibility where we can very reliably say where people can be given their time back, and those actions can be systematically taken forward. So that gives a lot of extra efficiencies and extra time to people for doing more complex and more impactful things rather than babysitting and doing it for the sake of doing it. So that is also another thing where all of this power is there, all of the potential speed is sitting with us. Are we able to take our judgment calls and say, this is something that I can offload, and this is something that is important. I want to keep my checks and balances in place. So, how do we enable for both scenarios? That is something that is built in within Ethereum.
When did the Ethereum idea start? Why? Why did we start building this? Was it something that came in your dream one night, or is it something that evolved out of an actual customer need and you realized we needed something in house?
It was a gradual progression. We were already working with a lot of different customers and how they were starting with the AI journey of their own. And this is a few years back. There was a lot of ambiguity that was going on. A lot of movement was there. It is still moving at an unprecedented rate. Nothing that we have ever seen before this super wave. Now, over different customers, we were doing similar things or trying to explore, set up environments in similar-ish way before something meaningful comes out. And from get-go itself, the prototypes, they have been relatively quick to build. But that shift from now my prototype is built, how do I run it or make my business process run and something that I can depend on? That transition was extremely complex and hard. Being a non-deterministic output creator, LLMs are not going to give you certainty that, yeah, tomorrow I'll give you exactly same answer. It will be very close, but that close enough does not work in a lot of enterprise scenarios. And getting that last mile, that is where a lot of the complexity sits. So that is what was the driving factor where we said, okay, we have looked at multiple different variations, different iterations that we have run through, and we have seen how the industry is progressing, how frameworks are evolving, how different things are coming to be. So how we can congest or distill all of that information in and have something that makes it a little bit faster to get to the value realization.
So, Gaurav, right now we literally just encountered this live issue, right, where I got thrown out. And I know that in enterprise cases, especially the kind of things Ethereum is built for, these things can happen. And I know that people might be really worried that what if this just stops and will my data be saved? Will I be able to find it again? Will I be able to trace things back? A live example, and I think your input would be really useful.
Yeah, I think it's the best situation that could have happened. Things break. We were interacting, and yeah, there was a pause. There was something that broke in between. Now, there are different ways, a more traditional or more common way in which current AI is working is let me restart everything. I'll get to it again. I will eventually get to a conclusion. I'll get to where I had to go. But because there was a pause in between, or that laptop was shut down, now Claude is going to start all over again, relearn things, redo things, and then eventually get there. So during all of this process, there are few things that are lost. One, time. All of the time that was running or that was spent till the point of failure, that has to be respent. All of the tokens that were already spent, all of the intelligence that was spent, that has to be redone again to come to this point and then progress. So that is what Ethereum avoids. You could have momentarily blips, or you could have a much longer downtime for external system. Maybe it's down for 2 days. Hopefully, it is not down for 2 days. But if that case happens, then Ethereum agents will wait. And we can control how long they have to wait, how long is acceptable wait. But they will wait till the time that other system comes back online and it can move forward from that step. So it is not wasting all of the tokens that it has already spent. It is not wasting all of the time that it has already spent. It is continuing from the point of failure onwards. So that with larger transaction volume or larger interactions with agents, that could start adding up very, very quickly.
I hear from all that you're saying is honestly the line that I keep seeing on LinkedIn and our website is intent is the new interface. And I think this chat kind of just proves that a lot of things that need to be intentionally thought of in the build process so that people start using things and that intent becomes their interface to work on a daily basis with certain outcomes in mind, with certain real workflows and real pain points or last minute issues that come up. I'm really excited to see what's next. And we'll continue this conversation to find out more and probably even get a few more glitches sorted out while we're at it. Thanks, Gaurav.